She had this article going on that everyone was sharing that was Sweppel, titled Planned Parenthood is not selling baby body parts, you fucking idiots. And that was like the title of the article. So it was bold and very signally. Yeah. But you look at the article she wrote, and the whole thing is just feigning outrage. Like, it's not, there's actually no substance. Like, it doesn't explain why it's bullshit in any way.
There's no actual content.
Yeah, it's just like, you're all dumb, ha 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 ha. That's the whole article.
It's kind of a ridiculous thing, I think, that they probably say without seriously thinking about it, right? Because what the liberals are saying is, like, wait a minute, look, you need to see the context in which we were talking about selling baby parts.
Yeah.
We're saying, like, there is no plausible context.
Yeah, that's pretty...
That could possibly make sense of this.
There's only, like, one... Yeah, there's...
I thought they were trying to insinuate that this was made up, that it wasn't happening at all, but there's a link that several commenters dropped this link and then did, like, the mic drop. Like, they thought they had, like, shut down the thread and it was over. It was on factcheck.org. It's called Unspinning the Planned Parenthood video. And they dropped this link at me with this moral superiority, and they do not dispute that that's being done by Planned Parenthood, that fetuses are being killed in certain ways that, from what I read, the way they were described, seems pretty cruel and unusual, even if you leave aside the parts that you're killing innocent life. But their point of contention is to say how the discussion of pricing and the rates that it's basically saying that it's not what the right tells you because they're not profiting off of it. So because maybe they're only barely breaking even on the body parts.
That really means
funny. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's the whole thing. That, like, there's
that also plays into their own biases about profits. Right? Because to the liberals, like, non-profit organizations are like holy, right? They're like, oh, they're not, unless they're Christian or something, or religious. Yeah.
If you are slaughtering children for pieces,
as long as you're not,
as long as you're not profiting,
profiting is the bad thing, right? They think it's bad to profit from selling candy bars, but you know, but to sell baby parts and not profit is fine.
My next question to them was, okay, so they're not profiting, but they're still slicing up fetuses, right? This is still, like, pretty gruesome and barbaric, and you understand this is why conservatives are upset, and this is why there's going to be a fight. You understand that, like, having the federal government try to not fund them anymore, which whatever percentage of Planned Parenthood's operational budget is from federal funds. I don't think it's
like $500 million.
Yeah, but it's just like, so you understand that, like, this level of outrage for that act alone, regardless. I mean, I don't care if they're giving the parts away for free. The fact that they're doing that is disgusting, and people want no part of it, and people don't want their tax dollars. Essentially, people don't want to feel like I'm indirectly paying for this to happen. It's like, well, and the answer is, well, they're not doing anything illegal.
Right.
That's the answer. It's like, it's technically legal. It's like, yes, I understand. They've jumped through the proper hoops so that the babies don't actually exit any vaginas alive, intact. I know. That was what was so gross about what I read, about what they do to ensure that doesn't happen, so that they don't run afoul of the law. But if you read what they're talking about and what they're describing and what's going on, it's abhorrent, and we shouldn't be doing things like, we shouldn't be funding things like this with the federal, I mean... But then their response is, well, it's not illegal. It's like, well, who does that sound like? It's not illegal, guy. You know, it's a loophole here.
Technically, it's within the boundaries of the law there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, you might as well just go screw.
It's possible that, as we know from the episodes that we did on Jonathan Haidt, liberals tend to have, and it might just be a perfectly natural thing, or however it happens, liberals, leftists tend to have a literally retarded, disgust reaction, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And as conservatives, right-wingers, we have a heightened disgust reaction. So we get disgusted by things and we react negatively to those things which disgust us. That doesn't really happen with leftists. So let's, like, remove the idea that they would maybe be disgusted by this. One thing I've tried to do in talking to some leftists about this is, I'm like, look, I get that you think that, like, the right to birth control, the right to your own body, the right to abortion. I understand why you think what you think. All I'm not even asking you. All I want you to do is, can you understand? Can you understand why there is somebody out there who hears about the dismembering of fetuses and the selling of the parts and is disgusted and wants it stopped? Can you just first, can you understand it? You don't. I'm not even asking you to agree with it. I just want you to try to process it such that you can get it. You can get why people are mad, and they can't do it.